very basic introduction to Photoshop. We're going to just cover 4 main tools. So the brush tool, changing the hardness and the size of it. We're going to cover the gradient tool, so loading preset gradients. We're going to use the layer palette and also the smart eraser. So I'll just go through it very quickly. You can see we're in Photoshop now. I'll just go to File, New, and what we did was select Print and A4. So you notice that these presets rely on a specific resolution. We're going to stick to 300, that's the print resolution. We could go into a bit of that later, but at the moment we'll just hit create. So when I first jump into Photoshop, the way that I've got it set up is you can see the history. So that will show you all the functions that you're going to kind of select, all the actions that you're going to do down the side. And I'm just going to go Window and Layers, and we'll just pop that Layers palette down there. If you can't see any of the palettes that I mentioned, as we just did, you can just go to Windows. First thing we're going to do, just check on the left-hand side, the tool sort of palette there, the tool bar, we're calling it. And we're just going to ensure that the brush tool is selected. So all the tools, I've just pressed G there on the keyboard. All the tools have keyboard shortcuts, so brush is B. If we just started to draw now, nothing would happen because we have a white background and we're using white. What I might do, there's a couple of different ways around it. We've said that we would use the eraser, but you could also start just with a transparent canvas. Nevertheless, I'm going to click on the color, just down here, and select black. Then I'm going to just hit the left mouse click once. So you notice that the brush stroke that came out was very fuzzy. It's got a very soft edge to it. I'm just going to press Control Z to undo, or you could just go Edit, Undo Brush Tool. Now I'm going to go up here. I'm going to choose the drop down arrow next to you can see the type of brush there, and I'm going to change the hardness to 100. Then I'm going to go back, and you'll see now that there's a very crisp edge. Undo again, and what you'll see is that I can change the size here on this slider from 100 pixels all the way up to 1,000 pixels and beyond. That's it. So I'm almost covering the entire canvas there. Here we go. So all of that would be dependent on your resolution as well. So if I was at a lower resolution, a larger brush would block out the screen totally. One of the shortcuts we're going to cover is just resizing the brush tool. So it's basically just, at the moment you can see it's massive. You can see the outline of it. I can just resize it on the fly by hitting the square bracket, which is kind of next to P, or it's sort of on enter on the right hand side. So what I'm doing is just hitting the square bracket left and square bracket right, a closed bracket left and right. And what I'm going to do is fill the screen with dots of varying sizes. We'll get one to overlap there. There we go. Something like that. All right, so you can see that I've got all my brushes there. Just hit unlock on layer 0, and I'm going to go to the smart eraser over here. Magic eraser, sorry. I'm going to create a new layer, drag it underneath layer 0, select layer 0, the smart eraser, and it's going to remove all the background. I could have started with a blank background, was probably better, but the way that we've done it is to just try and teach you a few of the other tools. So right now I've got 2 layers. I'm just going to call one by double clicking on it dots, and I'm going to call the other one background. Really good to get into the practice of naming your layers with complex files. I'm going to go back to dots again, select my color palette over here, or the color picker, sorry. Put the dot right in the top left hand corner to select white. Then I'm going to go back to the brush tool and bring the size right down again with the square bracket. And we've spoken a little bit about light source. So light source would be in architectural renderings, light source would dictate where the shadows fall. The light source that we're going for, it's not really important if it's left or right or dead center. Probably top right would be a bit of a convention, and we're going to make that consistent across all of the dots that we've created. But before we do that, I'm going to take the hardness back to 0%. So I want this circle to be smaller than the dot that I've got there. So something like that. Okay, and you notice that now it gives it that kind of 3D, something like that. That 3D sort of look, as though it is a sphere. Okay, I'm going to apply that to all dots. This one's off the page a bit, but that'll do. There we go. So in terms of your marking criteria, you would need, a number of dots of varying sizes. You would need the light source consistent and rendered, just say in the top right, or left. In the middle, it's going to look a bit odd. Then you would need 2 layers. And now I'm going to select the background layer, and I'm going to choose my next tool, which is the gradient tool. So a gradient is just a continuous blend from one color to another. Various ways to do this. There are a number of different gradients as well. There's also a radial gradient, which kind of spreads out from a defined center. We're going to pick some preset gradients, and if I've got them here, there we go. So in class we had a number of other ones. If you go here, there'll be there we go, a number of ones that are pre-made. Okay, I'm just going to pick quite a generic one. We'll just go that one. So if you hover over them, that's blue 27, a classic. Now the gradient tool is controlled by clicking and dragging. So the amount that you click and drag dictates how long the gradient extends, so the kind of range of the gradient. So if I just do a very quick click and drag, I've got radial selected. I'll go back and select that. If I just do a very quick click and drag, I need to be on background. There we go. So you can see there that it's almost looking like a horizon line, so it's something like that. But if I click and drag it out, it's forming a nice smooth gradient. I'll click at the end there. So I'll undo that. I'm just holding down space as well. I meant to mention that tool. Holding down space as well for the hand tool. When you're zoomed in, so it's Alt and mouse wheel to zoom in and out, or Control minus and plus. When you're zoomed in, it's very handy to have that mouse tool, to have that hand tool to move around the canvas without selecting anything. So I'm back on background, G for gradient. I've got my gradient selected. I'm holding down, I'll just go click up and drag rather than that. Yeah, there we go. And there we are. And just zooming out a little bit there, back to just the move tool. So as you can see, I've got gradient 27 or whatever it was, the one that I filled. If I wanted that to stay, I could just render that layer. I've also got my dots. If I was to select the move tool, I could actually move those dots around. But as you can see, there's things hanging off the canvas, so we're not going to do that. Now to render it, or flatten it out to a file that we can show, that we can display on the internet. You'll also note that I've got a little bit of white gradient spilling over there. But all that we're going to do is just go File, Export, Save for Web. Well, this is one of the easiest ways to do it. I'm going to ensure that the file is a JPEG. I'll just zoom out there as well. Alt and mouse wheel again. There we are. And I'm just going to save that. And as we learned, we save in the folder that is called our student name. Then upload that to the Google Classroom. So just to recap, we use the brush tool and the square bracket to change the size. We use the color picker to change the color to white and make a consistent light source. we made a new layer and used the gradient tool in the background. All right, good luck and upload your work to Google Classroom.